approval. So the options that we've kind of proposed here for you for consideration and direction is option one, to explore opportunities for future acquisition of approximately 300 megawatts of generation. Option two would be to do the same, but again, now we're talking about 600 megawatts of generation. And then option three would be to do nothing and wait for the completion of the integrated resource plan. Just as a reminder, council gave us direction on June 3rd to pursue a city a renewable energy policy that we do plan to bring back to you in about 6 to 9 months. And then we would anticipate that the integrated resource plan that would encompass not just the mix of generation needs in the state, for DME, but also look at the various demand response, demand management, whether they're virtual power plants, DERs, that we could look at within that program. Again, we certainly believe that a mixture of all these things ultimately will be needed to continue to keep rates affordable and reliable for customers. We anticipate that would take about 18 to 24 months.
Okay. Mayor, as far as direction, I tend toward the 600 megawatt facility.
Okay, thank you. Representative from District 1.
Believe it or not, I understood all of that.
Great.
I have been studying it, and I do not want us to miss any kind of opportunity, that's out there for us. So I would definitely want to approve us moving forward to at least investigate more in detail, and you all bringing us back, some solid recommendations for that. Between 600, 300, it's neither here nor there. It still needs to be investigated, and you'll give us those numbers later.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's do that. Thank you.
So my option is, if I could get less than option three, then I would. We are so cart before the horse on this one. And none of this includes the engagement of the community. So
Okay.
I'm for extreme option three.
Thank you. All right.
I, for one, am very uncomfortable moving forward with this, even for financial reasons, without community engagement. This is a big deal. This is going to be a big spend. And given the history of this in this particular city, I don't know that we should be, I do not believe we should move forward this way without talking to the community first. There's a whole lot of unanswered questions. We have experts who live in the community. I think we should take into account everything that's said by everyone before we move forward. So whatever that shakes out to, I'm sorry, I know it wasn't exactly A, B, or C for you, but hopefully you can glean what I am asking for in that.
All right. Anyone else? Any other direction? Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll just get straight to the chase. I tend to align with what Councilmember McGee has said. I'm uncomfortable with moving forward with this, knowing what happened several years ago. I'm a little concerned by just the straight recommendation and I understand your reasoning behind the recommendations, but just going straight to a certain type of generation facility and not having others in the options, and I would like to see the community be able to see what the trade-offs are on cost. How long does the battery run? What's the cost of that? And just have basically to do a better comparison with the community before we were to move forward with anything. And I'm a little concerned also that we would be proposing this or moving forward before the IRP. And so I would tend to align with what Councilmember McGee has said.
Okay. Anyone else? Representative from District 6.
Thank you. Thank you for all the information. It's been incredibly helpful. And thank you for all of the discussion and questions, which are also very helpful. My direction would be at this time, recognizing that we're not voting on pulling the trigger or not. We're just giving direction to look into it. I think that facilitating community engagement and researching what is out there are not mutually exclusive. We can do both. And so I think with the reasons presented, the dependability that is necessary for some of the things you mentioned, like dialysis and hospitals, et cetera, what we've seen in the past, and keeping rates affordable. And I just want to say climate change is real and we need to be paying attention to it. However, I think it's necessary, it's going to happen, and we need dependable energy for our constituents. So reserving any decision or vote on any decision to actually pull the trigger, my direction would be to explore what possibilities there are, whether it be 300 or 600 megawatt, and also include any community engagement, so that there's going to be a long lead time before I think we're going to get to actually saying, yes, we want to do this or not. So I think we have time for the community engagement while looking into this. I just don't see a reason to not find more information. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I change my direction to what Councilmember Jester said, if you don't mind?
Sure.
I think
Got it.
she's right
Thank
about
you.
both of
Perfect.
them.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to wrap up with. I would ask everyone to go back and do a search on your emails on the general downtown plan that caused so much confusion and got everyone worked up as though we're going to dig up the Civic Center pool tomorrow, right? Like, just go check your emails and you'll see that everyone was worked up and we had, oh, you're going to fill in that blank space on the square, you're going to do all these things, and it was just an overview. It was just an idea. It didn't have any specificity to it, right? And so all I hear you saying is we want to go get specificity before we come back to the community and avoid the confusion that caused. That, to me, makes perfect sense and generates way less emails. And then anyone that thinks that you're going to solve anything by taking it to the public, as far as the people that show up are the same people that show up, and let's say we get different people that show up. Well, what's not going to happen is 160,000 people, the entire city, show up. So ultimately, we're going to make a decision based on some subset of the community, and we'll be right back at the same place. But I want to make that decision based on facts, based on research, not just ideas. And so to inch that further to that detail, we have to go out and do the analysis, and that's what I understand we're doing. I'm not green lighting anything. What I am green lighting is more information before we go to the community with no information, and then have everyone then have a narrative that fills in the gap versus details and analysis and put staff in a situation to be able to answer the question. What I don't want to have is staff standing in front of a crowd at the Civic Center saying, I don't know, we got to go figure it out, right? I want to go back and say, we've done the due diligence and here's what we're proposing. And then people can react to an actual idea and plan versus a thought-provoking process that then gets people worked up that we're going to fill in a park downtown and what about this and what about that? And we're like, hey, no, it's just an overview. So that to me is, so succinctly, there's enough direction. Here's the consensus. It's a options 1 or 2 and community component to that once you arrive at either 1 or 2.